Yeah, so this is what I kind of expected. It's just we can't hear him. But that's huge. Oh yeah, man. Chat, give it up for President Biden, guys. Give it up. Oh man. Huge. Oh yeah, big hug. Oh yeah. How sweet, Joe. How sweet. Ooh, Joe's looking good in that dark blue. We got the memo, Joe. Oh yeah. Looks great. That's the diplomatic navy blue suit. Oh yeah. Now again, there were 24 prisoners swapped. Russia received 8, and we received 16. So, oh, that's so sweet. Lots of tears of joy. Lots of tears of joy. Oh, man. Grandpa Joe comes over. Oh, man. Yeah, that's Paul Whelan. Looks like President Biden may have just pinned the American flag on him, probably his lapel, which is a tremendous honor for any American to have the president pin his own pen. That's just amazing.
Mr. President, how does it feel?
It feels wonderful.
Feels
Long
wonderful.
time in coming. It's absolutely convincing to get it done.
Good
And
job.
I said. Alliances make a difference. They stepped up. They took a chance for us. It mattered a lot. So delighted to go.
You said earlier that all these negotiations require tough policy, tough policy.
Toughest call on this one for other countries is I asked them to do some things that were against their immediate self-interest, and really very difficult for them to do, particularly Germany and Slovenia. Slovenia came in at the last minute, and I tell you what, the chancellor was incredible. He was incredible. So.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, look, that's been the case for all of history. My job is to make sure, number one, they don't get them, and if they do, we get them back. I don't buy this idea that you're going to let these people rot in jail because other people may be captured. We will set out all the notification to all the other countries, all our citizens, what countries not to go to, what to do, what not to do, and they got to pay attention. I got more work to do. So.
This is an extraordinary day, and I'm very thankful for our president and what he has done over his entire career, but in particular as it relates to these families and these individuals. What he has been able to do to bring the allies together on many issues, but in particular this one. This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day, and you can see it in the families, in their eyes, and in their cries.
Kamala must be so tired after the reach just had.
We got to make sure. Want to make sure everything is in
Atlanta,
place.
Houston,
And Slovenia
campaign events in both.
made the right move.
Shayla Jackson's memorial.
So anyway, look, it's time to trust. I mean it. I know everybody thinks I talk about the notion of relationships with foreign policy with other countries. Much of it, and you've heard me kid with Barack, all politics is personal. It matters. Other leaders trust you, you trust them, you get things done. And that's how this got done. A lot of help. Anyway, thank you. I'm very concerned about it. I had a very direct meeting with Prime Minister today, and very direct. We have the basis for a ceasefire. We should move on it, and they should move on it now. Pardon me? It's not helped. That's all I'm going to say right now. Thank you.
All right. Kamala, time to drop out. We want 4 more years of Joe. Oh, Joe, baby. What a... He's cooking up in... Oh, man. He's so awesome. He is so awesome. So the point I was making earlier, how there were 24 prisoners involved, and the Russians got 8, and we got 16. That says a lot for the future, and for any countries who want to try to arrest Westerners. You're going to have to give up a lot more than what you're going to get. And every time you make these unjustified arrests, the sentiment by the world that you're evil, that you're just cementing the fact that you're a fascist doesn't help you. I do want to make a point that President Biden said that the prisoners who were released by Germany, I think it's Germany, Slovenia, Norway, and Poland, they were justly arrested. These were criminals, Russian spies, hackers, a murderer, and so that's why he's talking about the importance of having allies and the tough decisions they had to make. Because if you're a leader and you're letting go of a Russian murderer,
Thanks for being here, everybody.
that's really tough. But if it means that 16 unjustly arrested people are going to see their families, that's one of those tough calls you've got to make as a leader. And I'm just so happy that they were able to make it. And Meg, if you're out there, if you're listening, if you just want to just stick your head in the sand, and this whole America first. This is the perfect example. Your fellow citizens are relying on a president who can make friends, not enemies. It is her birthday. We were watching President Biden with the family members while we were waiting for the plane to arrive, and who Bob 316 is referring to is the girl who has her back to us, and President Biden sang happy birthday. And we're about to see that in a second here after this stream ends. Come on, Joe. 4 more years. 4 more years. Oh, man. Poor audio, no volume. Well, there's not a lot of volume from the tarmac. The cameras are a good, probably 75 feet away. Okay, here's Paul Whelan. Oh, that was Paul Whelan addressing the reporters, and we didn't get to see it. Oh man, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Okay, so I mean, that would have just been the cherry on top of already just an amazing moment. I can't even begin to really kind of understand and feel what those families are feeling, the relief that those people are all feeling. What an amazing moment, and just for President Biden to be able to put that feather in his cap, it's rightfully deserved. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left with President Biden and the family members today. We're going to hear him sing happy birthday to one of the daughters of the political prisoner that was unjustly arrested. And then he's going to kind of rib President Biden or former President Trump here at the end of the statement.
Additionally, I issued an executive order in 2022 authorizing penalties like sanctions and travel bans on those who hold Americans against their will. And my State Department has introduced new warnings for Americans about the risk of being wrongfully detained by a foreign government. Deals like this one come with tough calls, and there are never any guarantees. But there's nothing that matters more to me than protecting Americans at home and abroad. And so we'll continue to work for the release of all wrongfully detained Americans around the world. Let me end where I began, with Paul, Evan, and also Vladimir and their families. They never gave up hope. We can't imagine what they've been through, all of you. Matter of fact, this lady right here, I think, was living in the Oval Office with us for a while. All kidding aside, can't imagine their joy right now. They're home. Tomorrow's a big day. The 13th birthday of Miriam. Miriam, where are you? Come here. You all know we have a tradition in the Biden family. We sing happy birthday on any birthday. You ready? All of you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miriam. Happy birthday to you. Remember, no serious guys till you're 30. God love you. She's Alsu's daughter. Now she gets to celebrate with her mom. That's what this is all about. Families able to be together again, like they should have been all along. So I want to thank you again to everyone who did their part. In just a few hours, we'll welcome home our fellow Americans. We're looking forward to that. God willing, we're going to be out at Andrews and get that done. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is a good day.
What did you say to them on the phone, sir? What did you say when they answered the phone on the other side?
I said, welcome almost home.
How do you keep countries, these so-called abductor states, from simply taking more Americans in order to get more of their prisoners home? How do you end these perverse incentives, sir?
Well, we're advising people not to go certain places. Tell them what's at risk, what's at stake.
Mr. President, is there a need to enter these negotiations, and can you speak to the complexity of working with 6 countries to secure these releases?
Well, look, I'm not going to take the time now, but I'll do this later in the week. I particularly owe a great sense of gratitude to the Chancellor. The demands they're making of me required me to get some significant concessions from Germany, which they originally concluded they could not do because of the person in question. But everybody stepped up. Poland stepped up, Slovenia stepped up, Turkey stepped up. And it matters to have relationships. It really does. These things matter.
Did you?
Pardon me?
Could this improve relations with Russia? Is there any avenue for that after this prisoner exchange deal?
As my sister might say, your lips to God's ears, man.
Did you ever speak with Vladimir Putin about this, or would you be willing to speak with Putin now directly?
I don't need to speak with Putin. Anyway.
How did you weigh that decision of letting somebody out who sounds like got away with murder now?
I got home innocent people. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Are you speaking with Erdogan or any other leaders about this?
Say that again?
Are you speaking with President Erdogan or other leaders about this?
Yes, I've spoken to all the leaders about this.
What did you say? How do you
And
feel
by the
so
way,
far?
as a father, look, you heard me say this before. I mean it.
Some of these questions.
My dad had a
like,
simple
what?
proposition. Family is
to
the
other
beginning,
leaders?
the middle, and the end. Blood of my blood, bone of my bone. I can think of nothing more consequential. I mean it sincerely. And having lost family, not a different way, and not knowing what's happening to their circumstance when they're accidental, with health, it matters.
Mr. President, what did Germany ask for in response for their cooperation?
Nothing.
President
What did Chancellor Scholz say now?
President Trump has said repeatedly that he could have gotten the hostages out without giving anything in exchange. What do you say to that? What do you say to President Trump now? Former president.
Why didn't he do it when he was president?
Sir, what did Chancellor Scholz say?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yep, exactly. All talk, Trump. You're all talk. I like how President Biden went back to the microphone to make sure that people heard him. He's had enough bullshit. Yep. That's pretty much it's a pretty good way to describe President Biden. And I mean, probably everybody who, I mean, this, like I said, like I said before, oh my throat's tightening up. Like I said before, this deal doesn't just happen in a week, in a month. This has been ongoing for years. For years. People have been working, teams of people have been dedicated to getting these people home. And you know, it's the lazy sack of potatoes Donald Trump who just talks the talk but can't walk the walk. It's as simple as that. And so President Biden there just dunking on Donald Trump. I mean, that's what we're going to see the next, 95 days now from the Kamala campaign. Just constant dunking on the lazy, racist, pathetic, delusional candidate for the presidency. Oh man, that moment was that was great. That is just, we, you know, our country needed a moment like that. William Hunter Knight, what's up? What's up, baby? Oh man, good to see you, man. Awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream there. It's 9:00 here on the West Coast. So fantastic turnout. We almost got 200 likes on this bad boy. We were up hovering around 200 viewers, and the East Coast is asleep. So we've got probably our Midwest and West Coast homies in the chat. I'm in San Diego. I'm in California. But yeah, before we go, chat, let us know. Let me know where you guys are watching from. And yeah, that was Carrie's here from the East Coast, liking it. Awesome, staying up late for such a monumental moment. Yeah, and you know, hopefully the media talks about this tomorrow. The point that President Biden was trying to make, you know, you're not gonna get ahead in the world. You're not gonna make things like this happen unless you have friends and allies and the respect from those allies. And so this was huge. A huge day for President Biden, a huge day for these families, but also a huge day for democracies around the world. And a not so good day for Putin, who had to give up, you know, a 2-to-1 ratio of prisoners to get his hackers and his spies and a murderer back. So let's focus on this, you know, media over the next 24, 48 hours. Let's focus on the connections and focus on our allies and what it means in the pushback against Putin and all of his little game playing. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching. We picked up a couple new subscribers. I see Peggy. I mentioned you earlier. Thanks for subscribing. Mimi Olson. Thanks for subscribing. And boom, we just hit 200 likes on the chat, on the video. Man, the Reflect community, showing up, speaking out, just being part of a wonderful, wonderful, emotional evening. So I just want to say thanks again to everyone who joined us. Even if you're just sitting at home and watching and you're not chatting, thank you for joining. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream.